Welcome to the Bloody Nuts Podcast.
This podcast is not for kids, and I'm serious.
Bloody Nuts.
Ew, you guys are gross.
I've heard of these nuts, but never bloody nuts. Ew.
You have to be so rude and so crude. Like, grow up.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Welcome to the Bloody Nuts Podcast, where we talk about a bunch of fucked up shit. And I must say, this podcast is definitely not for kids or anyone who's going to be easily offended.
Exactly, Mom.
I'm going to kill Mike today. I think that's what's going to happen. But I am your host, Zach. With me, as always, is Mr. Mike. Go ahead and say hi, Mike.
What's happening, y'all? Did I sound Canadian or did I sound like I was from Texas when I said
How
that?
you doing, eh?
Hey.
Welcome to the Bloody Nuts Podcast. That was like Indian and Canadian. I don't even know.
That doesn't sound Canadian at all, dude.
I'm really bad at accents, dude. Anytime I try to do an accent, I get stuck. Like it goes from like Indian to Canadian to Australian to like a pirate. Like I can't stay consistent with my accents.
Yeah, I get the same way, dude. Irish to Chinese and everything.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, guys, so if you've listened to the podcast before, thank you so much. We got some really, really awesome feedback from the first episode. There was people who were coming up to me too and listened to the podcast, and they were like, dude, thank you so much for talking about some of these things that you think about or you'll talk about with really close people, but never have they heard it on a platform like this. So hopefully that's what we can continue to do on Bloody Nuts. And one thing that we're going to start doing is a kind of a hot question of the day, where we're going to ask a question, kind of dive into it and see how each of us, handles that question. I'm sure we're going to have our own answer. And today my question is for Mike. So my question to you, Mike, is when you are going to take a piss, whether it's at the toilet bowl or the urinal, okay, where do you aim your pee at? Okay, do you do it straight for the water, and you make your presence known, you walk in there and just, yeah, I'm here, bitch, or you shoot it off to the side, do a little bit more stealthy? What's your direction you go with that?
Dude, I think it kind of depends on the toilet. The shape of the toilet, like the urinal, because you've gone into a urinal to take a piss and then the splashback, and like if you're wearing like khakis or some shit, dude, like it's gonna come back and you'll see the splatters back on your pants, right?
Facts.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that's experienced that. So you kind of have to like find that sweet spot on some of those urinals.
So I know with like the urinals too, like it depends on which it is, but like if you hit the urinal cake, like, or the pad, like the right way, then you won't get as much splashback. Like it's almost at the corner of right where it turns is usually where that kind of sweet spot is on a urinal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. True. In the toilet, I think I usually just aim for the water just because of the less splashback.
Really?
Yep. If I'm trying to like be quiet, like it's late at night, and someone's sleeping in my room and I'm trying to like avoid waking them up, then probably like aim more towards like somewhere on the bowl. Or if there's a target, like someone's shit stain that they didn't clean up after themselves, then I might try to aim for that. At least
that's a real dad move right there, is when you see the shit stains and you're like, man, I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone, and I'm just gonna use my strong piss stream to just clean off these shit stains.
Right, dude. Actually, I'll get to this question afterwards. What about you? Where are you aiming at?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the toilet bowl because I think we kind of covered the urinal. You're worried about that splashback, so just kind of trying to find the right angle on the urinal. But with that toilet, I think I go to the right of the water, and what I try to do is I try to angle it where it almost does like a tornado swirl, like so it's not splashing back, but it's almost like going down towards the water. There's like a technique to it, and it's quiet, and you don't get a bunch of splashback or anything like that. So I would say that's probably my goal. I'm very curious too, though. Like, because there's so many different ways. Do most people go directly into the water? Did they go to the left? Did they go above the water? Maybe below the water? Dude, I wonder how many men sit down to pee. I'd be very curious about that.
That's crazy you said that. I was just thinking about that because I think I've only really heard about that from one other dude that sits down to pee. But I wonder if that is a common thing.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. We might have to throw up like an Instagram poll and see how many people do it. I don't know how many people would be honest about it.
I wanted to ask though, when you take a shit and you leave like a skid mark on the toilet, like inside the toilet, do you just leave it? Or do you take the scrub brush and try to wipe it up first so no one else has to like stare at it?
Okay, so real quick though, Mike, we're supposed to do one hot question of the day, and you're coming in hot with question number 2.
That's
right
because
now.
It was a random thought that just came in my head.
I love it. I love it, but
I have to ask right now because I'll forget it, dude.
Oh my god. Okay, so this is what I will do. When I leave a good shit streak on the toilet bowl, I'm gonna flush, and then if it's like clear there's going to be a streak there, I will try to do another flush or 2 to make sure it gets all down, because it's easier to get off when it's kind of fresh. Sometimes you need to let it soak in the water a little bit, but I will say I don't clean it up right then and there. Do you? Are you like like you don't want people to know that you just shat? I'm guessing.
Yeah, dude, I'm being respectful, man.
Oh my god, dude. Listen, okay, but wait, like in a public bathroom, what are you gonna do there?
A public bathroom? Fuck no.
Okay, so it's only at the house.
Yeah, only at the house. If it's a public,
but those are people you live with. Like they know you.
How
shit.
public? How public? Are you in a grocery store? If you're in a grocery store, who gives a shit? People are getting paid to do that. To do that for you. If you're at work and it's a smaller work area, and there's a scrub brush ready right there, like it's a single bathroom, maybe that'd be the nice thing to do. But I don't know. Since I work with a bunch of sewer rats, or whatever, I don't really give a shit, dude. It's just...
But sometimes though, this is what's gross to me is if you took the brush right then and there and scrubbed off those shit streaks, then you're gonna just have straight shit on your toilet bowl brush. Whereas if you go with my method, you're gonna let it soak, where the next flush it might come off, which a lot of times it will. So to me, that's probably more hygienic than just having a shit brush. That's just me though.
I don't know, dude. I feel like it's more respectful just to take the scrub brush that's sitting there next to the toilet and just give it a couple little.
If we, let's say we share an office together, okay, and then you went in there and you just tore it up and there's shit streaks in there, and I went in later to use it and I saw it, I'd probably just be like, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't care.
Well, if I knew that you're coming in the bathroom after me, then
you'd purposely do it.
I'd purposely leave it there and just say fuck you.
I believe that. Okay, so I want to backtrack a little bit because we're gonna come in hot with question number 3. Okay, so you had mentioned when you pee in a urinal or whatever and you get some splashback, especially with khakis, because the wet spots are gonna show up more on khakis versus like jeans or something.
Mm.
In that situation, what do you do? Do you just fucking rock it if someone says, hey, what's on you? You're just like, I pissed, or what do you do?
Probably when I wash my hands, splash a little bit extra water on my pants to make it seem like I just fucking had the craziest sink.
Yes, dude. I always like prepare the lie in my head too, that the faucet just went off and it sprayed all over me. Like
exactly. You walk back to the table at the restaurant. You're just like, dude, that fucking sink, man. That shit was aggressive.
Talk to the manager. You really need to get that sink checked out. I'm fucking soaking wet.
Yeah, right.
But here's the
dude.
thing.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that. That's
okay,
funny.
for sure. But this is what worries me. Okay, since obviously we think similarly. That's such a hard word for me to say. We think similarly to that. if so many people think that way and it actually happens, are they gonna be like, oh, that dude just fucking pissed himself? Like,
Dude,
guaranteed.
if I see somebody with water splashed on their lap, after going to the bathroom, I'm gonna call him out and be like, dude, you totally got splashed back on your pants, didn't you? When you're
That's
pissing.
hilarious.
You're like,
Well,
no, dude, it was the sink. Like, I call bullshit. I'm gonna call him out right there.
the worst.
I want to put him
the-
on the spot. I think it'd be funny.
The worst though is like, and I think we talked about it on the last episode though, is like when you have that little bit of piss that comes out afterwards, because that's such like a wet, specific spot, so it takes longer to dry. And dude, I've seen people like right where they're, you could tell the tip of their dick was, because there's a wet spot on it, and I feel so fucking bad. But it's happened to me too, and I try to dry it out, and then I'll just like keep pulling my shirt down over it, and like hopefully it will fucking dry. God, I hate it, dude.
Right at the very top of your boxers.
Okay, my dick isn't that fucking small, Mike. You asshole. I know
sorry.
your pee spot's down by your fucking ankle, okay? But
I don't have that problem. I don't have that problem.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
I'm just playing, man.
This is actually a really good time of year for me, because the worst fucking holiday in the world is over. Christmas. Fuck Christmas. I think we've talked about it before, that it's a shit holiday, and I suck at giving gifts. Like, I'm not a thoughtful gift giver, like, especially with my wife, like we've been together for almost 6 years now. You have anniversaries, you have birthdays, you have Christmases, and it's like you run out of gifts to give. And not only that, usually throughout the year, we'll kind of just get what we want or need anyway. So it's
Exactly.
like, why do we have to, because it's holidays coming up, we have to get stuff? Especially with the kids, they get fucking spoiled with everything they could ever want. It's ridiculous.
Right. And yeah, you're getting the kids all these presents and everything, and it's like, as an adult, it's like with your partner, you're like, hey, you know what? We be buying each other stuff all year long. So why do we need to spend our money on more gifts for us when we just buy what we want anyways? But the thing is, like, what do you explain to your kids? Like, oh, Santa forgot mommy, Santa forgot daddy, or whatever. Like, you at that point, you're pretty much forced to keep the tradition going and just doing the whole gifts for the adults too. But at the end of the day, it's all about the children, and trying to teach them that it's not about the presents, it's about being together. Dude, the kids are like, it's about the presents.
For sure. Well, that's how I thought as a kid. Like, that's the only thing I fucking cared about, And so I get it, because I remember how magical it was, like waking up in Christmas morning as a kid, because you're just like, dude, I cannot fucking wait. You've been so patient to get to fucking Christmas. Like, it's exciting.
365 days.
Yeah. And so I think I want to keep that excitement alive. One thing though, like, that really bothers me about Christmas too is, I teach my kids, like, the most important thing that you must follow is honesty. Like, that is the most important thing. But somehow, as parents, we are constantly telling lies to our kids that a fat man crawls down a chimney, which I don't even have a fucking chimney, by the way.
Me neither.
On flying fucking reindeers. And, there's a fucking fairy that's, like flying into the house at night and putting money under their pillow with a tooth. Like, I feel so fucking hypocritical that I have to tell my kids these fucking lies, and I tell them to be honest all the time. Like,
Dude.
Why do we have this? Why do we have these traditions? It's fucking stupid.
Dude, I'm there with you, man. For how much I hate being lied to, if I catch my kids lying, dude, like, they know I'm pissed. Like, I can't stand the lying. So if the couple times that I've caught my kids lying to me, they'll never lie to me again, because I made such a big deal about it. I tell them, I drive it in their head, we do not lie. But yeah, like you said, we have to lie about, all the holidays. Every holiday, it's a fucking lie. It's fucked up. And my daughter's bed is on a loft, right? So she lost her tooth. So I had to climb up the fucking ladder and crawl over to, across her bed, and then have to sneak $5 underneath her pillow. And I went out of my way and I wrote a whole ass fucking note from Tina the Tooth Fairy, which is actually hilarious. I wrote a pretty cool note. But besides that, as a parent, you put in a lot of fucking effort for this shit.
Yeah, to fucking lie.
All for a lie, dude. It's fucked up.
Well, and here's something too that's been fucking me over, because I have my 2 daughters, but one of them is my stepdaughter technically, who's with me all the time, and then I have my biological daughter who's with her mom part of the time. Well, an issue that I've ran into is that with like the tooth fairy, for instance, in our house, the first tooth they lose is $5. Every tooth after that is $1. I'm sorry, I'm not putting $5 every fucking tooth. That's ridiculous to me. So you get 5 on the first, 1 after that. Well, in my biological daughter's, her mom's house, she gets $5 every time, and that causes conflict, because then they're talking like, oh, you got $5 every tooth, like I've only got $1, and it's like,
the tooth fairy likes mommy better.
Seriously, dude. So it's just there's just struggles with it, and and at school too. If a kid goes to school and they're like, oh yeah, Santa bought me a dirt bike, and then if there's like a poor family, they're gonna be like, Santa brought me a Reese's peanut butter cup, and then they feel like shit, like they were bad or something. So it's just like, we need to end this fucking tradition. It's so stupid. And the worst one, Santa sucks, but the worst is that fucking elf on the shelf. Do you do that shit?
Fuck no, dude.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
It's a new tradition. When I was a kid, I think it's a German tradition, possibly. I don't know where it came from, but my parents. So basically, we would take our shoe. My sister and I, we would take our shoe, put it on the windowsill every single day, and then the elf. And one of Santa's elves would come into our house and put a little treat into our shoe every single day. So we'd be waking up in the morning and be all excited about that. Like, dude, I'm not going to that extent. I wanted to when my kids were younger. I was like, oh, this would be great. Now that they're getting older, I'm just like, I'm so glad I didn't continue that tradition, because Christmas is already expensive, dude. I don't know about you, but I easily spend about $1,000 on my kids alone. Like,
I always set a budget, and every fucking year we exceed that budget. It's like, we're not gonna go crazy, and then we end up going fucking crazy. It drives me insane. But you're very lucky about the elf on the shelf tradition, because it's like, it's a daily responsibility. And when we first did it, the first couple of years, it was like, we got really creative and we did all these awesome things. Well, of course, that set the bar really, really fucking high. Okay. So then, but now it's just like, dude, just remembering it is hard enough, So when I finally remember, it's either first thing in the morning or like the dead of night, and I'm like, fuck, the elf. So I gotta go out there and I'll just grab it, dude, and I'll just fucking throw it in a new spot. Like, I don't even give a shit anymore, So, but it's just,
you're so like determined to like come up with something so creative.
Not like I said, the first couple years, and then after that, it's just like, just be done with it.
Yeah. There are some pretty creative, elf on the shelf ideas that I've seen, on like TikTok or, Instagram or whatever. Like, people get pretty funny with it, dude. I did see this guy, like, he had his hand like inside of the fucking box of cereal, and he was like moving the elf around like as if he was like over here munching on the cereal, and I was dying laughing. I thought it was so funny, but honestly, fuck that tradition. I think it's stupid.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
there's some creative shit out there. It's funny,
for sure. For the parents that have the dedication, I get it. But to me, it's like Christmas is like one of the most stressful times of the year, just because it's getting to the end of the year. You got to spend all this money on Christmas. Tax season's right around the corner, so it's like, why put more stress on yourself to do this nightly responsibility that frankly doesn't really matter? So any future parents who are listening right now, Don't do that fucking tradition. Please, for the love of God, don't. I mean, you will thank me later. I know you think it's going to be cute and cool and they're going to love it. Blah, blah, blah. Don't do it. It's a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. My kids want that. They want the elf on the shelf. And I'm like, oh.
No, fuck that.
I'm
Dude.
not doing that.
So, my oldest, she had this Christmas list. Okay, so there's this Amazon Christmas list that she put all of her stuff on, and that way we can send it out to family members and stuff because she has family all over. Well, we'll hop on there, just to make sure that there's nothing crazy on there, like big screen TVs, PlayStation 5s, whatever. So we were checking it the other day, and it said a personal massager, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, is it one of these like sports rehab massagers or some sort of different kind of personal massager? And no, it was a personal massager. And I was like, dude, are you
like feminine type of,
like a fucking vibrator, bro? Like straight up fucking vibrator on Amazon. And so, dude, we like had to confront her about it and just like, hey, why did you put this on your list? She's like, oh, after gymnastics, I like to massage my muscles or whatever. So it was completely innocent, but we had to be like, hey, this is a massager for an adult. Like, you can't be doing that.
Did you have to explain to her what that was?
No, I mean, like, we just said it's for adults. Like, we said it's an adult massager. It's not for kids. And, because we've had some talks with her about that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to be like, you use this for female masturbation.
That's fucking funny, dude.
Oh, dude, I hate having to shelter my kids from the world, and they slowly are starting to get corrupt.
You're sure that it was for her? She wasn't shopping for mommy or something?
Yeah, it was actually my wife's list. Oh my gosh. Have you ever had a situation like that with like
with
weird sex
toys? With toys?
Yeah.
Dude, my freaking... All right, this is actually fucked up. Daughter comes into my bathroom, and I have a butt plug. Okay. And
where?
It's
where?
The butt? Well, not in the butt, but on the counter. Okay.
I didn't think your fiance was just in the bathroom with the butt plug, just chilling there while you're brushing your teeth.
No, so it was from the night before. It was from the night before, obviously, but
so you just like had rinsed it off and just like set it off to the side, or what?
Yeah, well, it was exactly next to the sink, whatever. Late at night, just like, okay, we're not gonna go through the efforts of, cleaning the stuff right now. Just set it to the side, come back to it later, right? So. I know, dude. I know. Could you imagine being that child and then finding out later in life that's what I picked up with my bare hands?
So wait,
I didn't get to that part, huh?
Yeah.
So my daughter picks it up and she goes, Dad, is this for me? I was like, no, it's not for you.
She came in there and just saw it on there and just grabbed it and was like, hey, this is for me?
Yeah, like she thought it was like a toy for her or something. Like it was, dude. Cause it's pink. It's like a pink diamond. It's pretty.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the diamond butt plugs. I got one in right now.
I'm sure you are. You probably have it glued to your chair.
Oh my god, dude. I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but there was I went to this bachelor party for one of my best friends. And we went to the strip club, and we had to go to this like 18 up strip club because we had someone who was younger with us. And strip clubs really aren't my thing. Like I kind of feel uncomfortable in them. But we were doing we had this like VIP kind of table. It was a group of us, and some of the guys there, they were really spending some money, and so we were getting a lot of attention from the girls. And there was one girl who really liked my buddy like a lot. And so we're sitting around this table, and she starts doing, kind of like a lap dance, but, like on him right in front of us. Well, she's on him dancing. And when she like straddles him, I like see her ass, but there's a butt plug in there. but not just like any
Sick.
butt plug.
Hell
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
It had a fucking fidget spinner on it, bro. And literally, he's able to sit there getting a dance, and we were able to just go up and just doop and watch the fidget spinner.
Was it like a normal size fidget spinner?
A normal size fidget spinner, just attached to a butt plug. So instead of
her
a diamond,
her butt cheeks are just fucking spread. It just spread open. You're sitting there just playing with a fucking fidget spinner, dude. That's badass.
it was wild, bro. I mean,
I'm gonna have to look on Amazon for one of these things, dude.
There you go.
Sick. I want to play with one of those,
dude. It could be a good time. Like you can really just,
babe. Hey, babe, grab the fidget spinner before you come in,
dude. I thought that was the most hilarious thing. And then later on in the night, she had this like foxtail butt plug. So she had swapped it out, and she had that, and there's literally just a tail hanging out of her ass. It was the wildest thing, dude.
It's like, got your tail.
I'm like, come here, good girl. Come here.
You want your tail back? You want your tail back?
Do you want a $1 bill? Sit, shake.
Dude.
But yeah,
dude.
I thought that was the funniest thing.
Are you into that kind of kinky shit with the tails and stuff?
Yeah, we use toys sometimes, but it's not like not my go-to.
For sure. You really have to like set some time aside for things like that. It's not more of like it could be like a spontaneous thing, but I think you kind of have to put some thought into that and not just rush into it. So
yeah, I mean, I'm down to like experiment and stuff. Like I've used like a cock ring with like a vibrator at the top. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen those, but
yeah,
those aren't bad.
The one with just the ring on it is literally just a ring.
Well,
and then a button too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I have used a cock ring before where it goes over the shaft and your balls. And those are better. Those are a lot better, dude. Something about being around the balls. I don't know what it is, but it's a little stimulating.
No, so that's the one that I was originally thinking about. And then I was like, oh, maybe he had the weaker one. The one with the nut cup, dude. That one's cool. I like
nut cup.
Well, yeah, like what you just explained, like how.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like an actual cup that like held your nuts.
It's a crazy looking device, dude. But it's like you get like when you look at it, you're like, how the fuck does this thing go on? But once you get it on the right way and your nuts are like nice and cupped in there, dude, it's pretty sick.
Have you ever seen a cock cage?
I haven't personally worn one, but I think I know what you're talking about. It doesn't sound very cool and comforting.
Yeah, so anyone out there who's listening who doesn't know what a cock cage is, it's a device that it's plastic mostly is what I've seen, but it goes around your penis when it's flaccid. And there's a little lock that you will lock up that cage, and it prevents you from getting boners. And you're supposed to give the key to your significant other or whoever. And it's, I don't know if it's some kind of control thing of like, oh, you can't get a boner until you see me again, because I got the key.
Dude,
I don't fucking know.
There's got to be some crazy girls out there that are just like, you're not allowed to have a boner all day until you come home. You're not allowed.
I used
some possessive girls out there.
Let me tell you this, dude, because like I had, when I was single, I was on Tinder, and my Tinder strategy was swipe right. Like I would not swipe left on anyone. I just swiped right on everyone, because to me it's like, why waste your time like looking at someone and be like, oh, they seem really nice, like I like them, blah blah blah. Swipe right on all of them, and then women are more picky. So then if they want to give me the time of day, then once they swipe right, we'll match whatever. I ended up matching with this girl I went to high school with, and we had a weird relationship. She actually pierced my septum in school. She had just gotten this like needle, and she had pierced her own septum. Well, then she was like calling me a pussy and stuff at school. She's like, you wouldn't pierce it. And I was like, yeah, the fuck I would. And she's like, okay, let's do it. I said, lunchtime? She was like, yep. And I was like, all right, let's go. So she
pierced your septum at lunchtime, dude?
Yes, bro. We were sitting by the gym, and I was just sitting on this step, and she just shoved that fucking thing in, and it was sitting in my nose, and she was like really struggling with getting the ring in there so that you could pull the needle through and get the ring in your nose. And then the bell rang to go back to class, and there were like teachers coming, and she freaked out. She's like, oh, there's a teacher coming. And so she just grabbed the needle and just ripped it out, bro. And I'm talking blood was pouring out of my nose, dude. And I tried to get the ring in there and I couldn't do it. And I had to go to class, and the teacher's like, what the heck? And I was like, oh, you know, I got mad and I punched a locker. So like I had to go to the nurse's office, and it was so fucking stupid. But anyway, that was my relationship with this girl. and we
matched on Tinder.
We matched on Tinder, and I was like, what the fuck? And so she was like, oh, well, look at here, you know, imagine that. And so anyway, we were kind of just shooting the shit.
Your nose again.
Right. Well, she was, you know, she was very open person, very outspoken. And she was kind of like, she's like, oh yeah, I'm really into some kinky shit. And I was like, oh yeah, me too. You know, like just trying to like let her know that I'm down. And I'm over here thinking like, you know, maybe a little bit light choking, or, you know, maybe a light slap or something like that. You know, that was my kinky. And I was like, you know, what are you into? What's kinky for you? And she's like, oh, well, I like to be like suspended and tied up, and I like hot wax poured on me, and like whips. And like, I was like, you're kinkier than me. Like I can't hang. I'm sorry.
You're like, I'm gonna bust a nut like in 2 seconds. Like,
no, dude. Like, I was out. I was like, nah, I'm good. Peace. Yeah. Have fun.
that's too much work, dude. Like, you know, I get it. Like, some people are just, you know, more sexual than others, or whatever. But, I don't know, man. I'm not really into like putting in that much type of work. That's a lot.
I'm just curious, like how people get off by it. Like I'm not kink shaming, because like if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I don't get it. I can't understand how someone would want to be tied up and like caused physical pain and be aroused at the same time. Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense in my head. So I'm very curious, like how that works for people that enjoy it.
Right. You know, some girls like their, you know, like to be smacked around or whatever. Like, maybe one girl wants their face to be smacked, which is absolutely crazy to me. Like, I'm not gonna do that shit. No, I don't like it. Ass smacking or whatever. Like, ass smacking doesn't like make me go crazy. I'm not like, oh, that's gonna turn me on because I just smacked your ass super hard. But like, I don't know, dude. Some chicks are like really into that kind of thing, which I can get by without it. But you know, I guess it kind of spices the mood, kind of makes it more fun a little bit. But you know, I'm really not into like the whole physical pain type of shit, which to each their own, dude.
To each their own for sure. Dude, there was one girl I was with, and dude, she was a freak, dude. First time we had hooked up, like, first of all, it was my buddy's cousin. And my buddy walks up to me and he goes,
you and those family members, man.
Well,
I'm not bringing you around.
Just shut up. Just shut up and listen to what this fool said to me, okay? My friend walks up to me and he goes, hey, my cousin's in town. She likes Mexicans. You need to smash. I was like, okay. You know, like, I can't argue. But
I'm only half.
And she was a blonde white girl, so it's like, how do you argue that? Anyway, so first time we hooked up, she had fucking crotchless panties, bro, which I didn't even know was a thing, and it was
that
wild.
Sounds pretty cool.
It was cool because I'm kind of into like partially clothed sex, like, you know, like lingerie or stuff like that. I think that's sexy as fuck. And so yeah, that was pretty dope. But like as we started hooking up more, one thing that was like really crazy to me is she wanted to be slapped, and she wanted her titty slapped, and like that was okay, like whatever. And then she wanted her face slapped. And, you know, I'm like, God, like, I don't want to slap this chick, you know, but I was like, she clearly wants this, so I'm going to. And I did like a little flap, you know, and she was like, no, harder. And I was like, okay. So I did it harder, and she was like, harder. Like, she was not fucking around. I was like, okay. And, you know, I put a little more into it, and she was still wanting more, bro. So literally, I'm to the point where I'm like,
sign this waiver.
Seriously, dude. But she loved it, and it was like, it felt uncomfortable, like slapping a woman that hard, especially in the middle of that, you know, like it was so weird. But dude, I mean, to each his own. I like if she loves it, who am I to deprive her of that, you know? And as long as I don't go to jail for beating the shit out of her, then we're good.
Yeah, dude. I don't think that's something that I would not be able to get in on that, dude.
Well,
no
that's because
way.
you're a pussy. That's
No,
because you're a
dude.
big old sloppy vagina,
I'm
Mike.
I'm an overthinker, man. It takes a lot of mental uh strategy sometimes, you know, for things like that. Because I don't know. I'm just more simple. I don't need to beat some girl up or smack her around or whatever to get off or
But
whatever.
you've never been in the heat of that moment, I guess, though, because I'm telling you,
To smack a girl in the
I felt
face?
uncomfortable. No,
No.
listen, I felt uncomfortable about it too. But when she's, I'm balls deep in her, and she's telling me to smack her hard, you don't just be like, "Nah, I'm good." Like you gotta man up and do what you gotta do, bro.
Dude, I'd feel so uncomfortable.
It, it, it
Uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm really strongly against abuse, like just woman abuse, like people beating up girls or dudes hitting girls and beating them up and shit. Like,
well, it's not like I said, "Bitch, get in the kitchen and make me some food," and slapped her. It was a sexual thing that she requested. I was being a good partner.
I'm not judging you, dude. I'm not judging you or getting mad at you or nothing. Dude, I just don't have it in me, dude. I don't have the heart to be like, all right, you want me to smack you across the face? I'm gonna fucking do it. I can't do it. I'd be like, sorry. I'm sorry.
I wish you could have.
You got the wrong dick here.
I wish you could have been me then, because I would have loved to see you be like, "No, I'm sorry, ma'am. That makes me feel uncomfortable. I refuse to do what gets you off."
No, I only do that when it comes to Bush. I strongly refuse when I see Bush.
Bro, yeah, that's one thing the listeners need to know about you, and we need to get into detail about how much you hate it. Okay, this man. Let me just explain. Like,
I'm not the only one. There's no way I'm the only one.
I know you're not the only one, but it blows my fucking mind.
Don't try to single me out here.
Oh, in this particular instance, I'm singling you out, okay? Because I am, when it comes to Bush on girls, doesn't bother me, okay? Like, I prefer it on the balder side. That is how I like it. But if there's 5 o'clock shadow or anything like that, it doesn't bother me. Even if, like, my wife, she didn't shave for a month, I'd just be like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It just doesn't bother me.
A month?
See, and here we go. My man in here, bro. He has to have this shit like
right now.
Like a fucking clean ass dinner plate to fucking stick his dick in it.
I'm trying to eat off that pussy, dude. I'm not with the hair, bro. I can't.
What
do it.
scares you about it?
It's not about what scares me. It grosses me out.
So,
bro, I don't like. Okay, I get it. Like, a girl's not gonna shave every single day because I don't know about you. Have you ever use a fucking a razor and shaving cream and shit on your junk? Like,
it's terrible,
dude. The rash that you get from that, the ingrown hairs that come with it, if you don't keep up on it or use the right product or whatever, it's unreal and super uncomfortable, and it sucks and it's itchy. So I understand that girls can't do that every single time. Okay, so I'm not like, you need to make sure you're shaving your pussy every single day, but upkeep, please. Like, it's fine. Some 5 o'clock shadow, whatever. It's all right. A month long, fuck out of here with that, dude.
So I have a couple hypotheticals for you. Okay, so do you have like a celebrity crush or anything like you think is the hottest chick in the world?
A few, but I don't know. They're getting kind of old now, so.
Jennifer Aniston.
Well, duh,
You said getting kind of old. Okay.
Well, yeah, Jennifer Aniston, Angelina Jolie, like they're all fire.
All right. All of Brad Pitt's sloppy seconds, I see. Whoever you think is the hottest chick in the world that you can think of, okay? You have the opportunity to hook up with them.
That's not fair.
Shut up.
That's not fair.
You're making out. You're getting in. You pull down their pants, and there's a little bit of a bush. You're not going to finish the job?
It wouldn't happen.
Why?
Because they pay for the wax, bro. They have clean shaven.
Bro, some girls, They rock the bush.
Not
That's
them.
their thing, bro.
Not them.
Listen, it's a hypothetical question. If you got the chance and you saw the bush, are you finishing the job or are you telling Jennifer Aniston to get out of your bed?
Bro, I would never in my life refuse Jennifer Aniston. Okay.
So
She's fired.
If she has a fucking forest down there, you're going to town?
I don't think that I could eat it with the bush. Okay.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed in you.
If I were to stick my dick in, I don't think I'd be able to get off because I don't like hair, dude.
What scares you about it? What scares you about it?
Nothing. Just grosses me out, dude.
We have hair on our faces, our heads, our arms, literally our entire bodies. What scares you about it down there?
Because I just don't want to mesh my facial hair with their fucking vagina hair.
You're getting, vagina juice all over your face. Like, what's wrong with just your hair touching your beard?
I know, dude. It's like a fucking sponge.
What's a sponge?
My fucking beard, man.
Yeah, well, you gotta go wash your face afterwards.
You got a nose tickler too. Like,
who wants a mustache ride?
Hey, I do.
I'm so glad you got that reference.
No, of course. I saw that movie when I was 9 years old in theaters, dude. We're old, man.
You're right.
Dude, I'm not a big hair fan, bro. Like,
but you're like repulsed by it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
no,
like,
I don't think, like, I don't know, dude. Some girls' vaginas are like, they're pretty. Some of them are definitely not. And the ones that are not pretty and then they have hair on top of it, it's like, I don't want to be grossed out. If I'm grossed out by someone's vagina, it's like, it's really hard to get that nut in,
I don't know if I've ever been grossed out by a vagina. I have to be, well, I guess if it's dirty, if they haven't showered and they don't take care of that, like hygiene wise, and there's like a really strong odor, that's unattractive. But like from a physical standpoint, I've never been like, that's an ugly pussy.
I don't know, man. Like, when you got the meat hangers hanging out, like
the roast beef flips.
Yeah, dude. It's
they can't help that, Mike.
I know, dude. It's fucked up. It's fucked of me to say it out loud. I keep those details in my brain. I don't usually let that kind of info out.
I don't think you're alone though.
Somebody's gonna be, they're gonna get their feelings hurt. But I'm just not really physically attracted or mentally attracted to that.
Okay, but those are, I don't know, dude. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I've never seen someone's pubic hair, whether it be thick or whatever, and been like, no, I can't talk to her anymore. Like, I don't. It just doesn't bother me. It just doesn't bother me.
I've never once in my life ever smashed like a vagina with straight up like thick bush. Because
you like turned them down if you saw it, or?
Oh, dude, I totally would. I wouldn't do it.
But you've never done it? You've never turned anyone down because of it?
Can't say that. I've turned down vagina because of bush, dude. It's gross.
Did you tell him to go shave? Were you like, hey, like, I want to do this, but
it's one of those like, I can't do this. Sorry. And it's their preference, and I'm just not really that open to be like, hey, your bush is fucking disgusting and I don't like it. I've never said it like that and been like so forward about it, but I'm just like, yeah, I can't do this. Sorry. And they're just like, it's fucked up because I'm like sitting here leaving them wondering. But
do you fuck with a landing strip?
Fuck no.
Why?
Because they intentionally left bush there on purpose, and that's gross.
But it's like that's your it's tamed, it's managed, it looks clean. Dude, they did that on purpose.
Because I want to put my face down there, and I don't want to put my face down there and get my nose tickled.
Get your nose tickled. Your
No,
fucking
dude.
beard hairs are fucking all up
It
in their
doesn't-
shit.
It doesn't feel good, dude. It doesn't.
Oh my
It doesn't feel good.
gosh. It's
You're making my hands sweat thinking about it.
it's crazy to me too, because I know you know this already, but I have a friend who is the exact opposite of you, and he wants his women with the thickest, just hairiest possible bush that they can have. I mean,
his woman probably loves him. Then she's just like, I
dude,
don't gotta
no,
do
she hates
shit.
it. She hates it. She
Oh,
wants.
she wants it to be bald.
She wants it to be bald. She likes it shaved like in that, and he like has to beg her, like, please grow out your bush, dude. But he wants it like hanging out their fucking panties. Like he wants all bush, dude. He loves it. Which, to each his own, once again. But it's just crazy to me. I have two friends on complete opposite sides of the spectrum. You got me in the middle, who's just like, you do you. You want a landing strip. You want some 5 o'clock shadow. You want to be bald. I don't care. You rock it.
This is the
You
friend
rock
that sends you bush pics on Tuesdays.
Yes, it's not bush pics. It's Tuck Tuesdays, where he tucks his dick and balls behind his legs, and then he'll just send me a picture with his bush.
What a friend, dude.
Have you ever been into sending shit pics to people?
What?
Do you ever take a shit and send it to somebody?
No.
Okay.
Is that a thing, or is that just a you thing?
It probably just, well, not just me, but there's some people. But me and this friend, dude, we would send each other like our shit pics, and like it started getting like pretty intense, bro. Like I started getting this angle where I would like hover above the bowl, like, I don't know, 4 inches with my camera to the side, and I would just blow shit out my asshole, bro. And there's times when you're at that angle where the shit will like land on the toilet seat and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And dude, the videos we were sending each other were fucking terrible. And we would joke about it and try to get like other friends involved, and most people are not into sending shit videos. They're very disturbed by it, I realized.
Dude, the next time that you do that, eat like some Lucky Charms. Like eat like a bunch of Lucky Charms or something, because dude, just sending someone some nasty green fucking shit would be so funny.
Oh, gross. Dude, I mean, he hasn't sent
you'd win the shit pic contest.
We haven't sent each other stuff in a while, but I mean, every once in a while he'll just randomly on Snapchat or Instagram send me a fucking picture of his 2-foot log that he left behind, bro, and he'll get close-ups of it, like with his hand inside the bowl. Like, he's very dedicated to his craft.
That's so funny, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, I could not imagine, man. I don't think I've ever sent someone a shit pic before. No.
Yeah, it's, dude, there was a website when I was a kid, and my stepdad told me about it, and it was called ratemypoo.com. And you would put a picture of your shit on there, and people would go on there and rate how good it was, and you could base it off of whatever criteria you had. If it was a girthy, shit, if it was a colorful shit, I don't know why that was a thing, but yeah, ratemypoo.com.
I've heard of there's those apps where you put, so like you basically you put in how much money you make, and then when you go take a shit at work, you start your timer when you're taking your shit, and then you end your timer, and this app, like, it calculates how much money you made every year, like, just shitting.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's literally an app on your phone. You can download it and you can.
Boss makes $1, I make a dime, and that's why I poop on company time.
There you go. That saying right there is probably what created the app.
100%.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, there's some crazy shit online, and do you, especially back in the day, like when the internet was still getting big, do you remember the BME Pain Olympics?
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's videos of people blowing their dicks up and cutting them off and all that stuff, right? It's pretty much it's like strictly dick related of just
it's just self-mutilation. Yeah, so any of the old-time listeners, our age, which, early 30s, you probably know what BME Pain Olympics is. All of our younger listeners, you probably don't, but it was these videos of people doing horrible shit to them. And I've seen a guy take a hatchet and just chop off his balls, and he like pull them out, and you could see all the vas deferens, which are like the stringy parts attached to the nut. I've seen people take a knife and just cut off their dick, or they'll fillet it down the middle. One guy put some firecrackers. He pulled his foreskin forward, put a firecracker in there, and lit it, bro, and just it blew up. And he pulled it back. It was
I
all
think that's
burned
as far as I got, dude. You can only watch so much of that because that's like
terrible.
Dude, that is super, super, super hard to watch. I remember just watching it just to say that I did, but I could not. No, I couldn't get very far with that. It's just like the whole 2 girls 1 cup thing. Like,
so that one was fake, actually. Thank God. But yeah, when it came
really?
out,
that's news to me. I thought that shit was real.
Well, I'm sure there's videos out there that were real, but I'm almost positive that the one that went popular when we were younger, the actual 2 girls 1 cup, was fake. I think it was chocolate ice cream they were using, because it looks straight like soft serve. But yeah, for also for the listeners out there, if you don't know what 2 girls 1 cup was, back in the day, there was this video, and they'd be like, oh, go to 2girls1cup.com. And he would go, and it was 2 girls just shitting in a cup and like eating it. And I think they were like throwing it back up into each other's mouths and stuff.
I can't say that terrible. I can't say I believe that it was fake, dude, because I'm pretty sure I remember watching shit come out of their assholes, like close up vision of it.
I mean, you can do some pretty creative stuff to make shit look real. I don't know. It could be real. I'm sure there's videos exactly like that are real if that one is fake. So,
and I challenge everyone watching this right now who's got this far to go online after this and type in 2 girls 1 cup and watch the entire thing. I challenge you. And if you did, please leave a comment below and let us know that you watched it.
Did you ever go to meatspin.com?
Is that the round baby right round?
Yes.
Baby. And it was the fucking dick in the helicopter.
So meatspin.com, and it was also wowomg.com, because meatspin sounds kind of sus. And so people would go like, oh, go to wowomg.com, and you would go, and it was 2 dudes fucking, and the guy who was on top getting fucked, his dick is doing a helicopter spin, and it's going, you spin me right around, baby, right around. But also, every time it spins, there's a counter, so it counts how many times you watch this dude's dick go in circles. I don't know why or how someone thought of the idea to make that website, but yeah, it was... The internet was crazy back in our day,
it's
bro.
Hilarious, like how long ago that shit came out, because I would not be able to remember the website. That you must have had a lot of people watch that.
Yeah, I tried to prank a lot of people, dude, especially the super homophobic people. Like, I wish I knew you were as homophobic as you were, because I would have sent it straight to you, and you'd be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, literally would have punched you in the face.
You say that, but you would have made it to 100 spins.
Bet no, dude. No. When you said the dick spin, or whatever, like I knew exactly what you were talking about. But once you said "Wow OMG," I'm like, okay, yeah, that was the website, because it was a trick. It was get your friends to watch shit they didn't actually want to watch. So
yeah, because like the higher number you made on the spins, like the gayer you were, like you made it to 10. Oh my gosh, dude, I got it off in 5.
There was so many silly little fucking games and tricks and websites that we used to, to watch when we were a kid or play.
YouTube, when it first came out too, was pretty dope, dude. Do you remember I think it was the Evolution of Dance, which had like the most views on YouTube for the longest time? No. It was a guy in like an Orange Crush t-shirt, and he was like dancing to this like medley of all these different songs. I think he had like Michael Jackson in there and Cotton Eye Joe and like all this stuff. But it's still on there. I think it has billions of views now. It's still entertaining, but it's just crazy, how much YouTube has evolved. Like, I mean, there's full on like produced shows on there now. There's one I watch called Good Mythical Morning, and I mean, it's like a talk show. It's so wild that this platform that came out when we were kids, just uploading just random videos, is now like a way that people make money. Like, they have full on careers, not just a small career, like fucking millionaires. It's wild.
Yeah, there was another YouTube channel. It wasn't YouTube. It was another channel like YouTube that it came out before YouTube got, probably before it was created or whatever. But I don't know. It's crazy because in our generation is like when like internet like came out and shit. I think, right? Yeah.
I mean, that's when it got like really popular.
We couldn't even watch. Yeah, we couldn't even watch YouTube. Or sorry, we couldn't watch or play on the computer. We couldn't be on the computer like using internet and be on the phone at the same time
because of dial-up internet. Yep.
And then,
it took forever, bro. It took forever. And another thing that's crazy to think about is like the storage capacity, like a terabyte. Back in the day, like there's no one even thought that could exist. Now we have fucking terabytes that are, the size of an Oreo. Like, that's fucking wild, bro. And I mean, it's only been, we've been alive for 30 years, and it's probably been 20 years since it's like internet's really started taking off. So it's just wild to think about how far it's come.
Yeah. There was I remember when I was younger, I think I was in high school. I had modified one of my consoles. I'm not going to say which one, but I had
you jailbroke it?
Pretty much. Somebody, so I bought it like a hard drive, like a computer hard drive, and they put it in, installed it into the console for me, so I could just like download games and whatever. Go to Blockbuster,
fucking dope,
or Hollywood Video. Just go
Blockbuster, bro.
I know,
dude. Friday nights, dude, going with your family, picking out a couple movies or even video games. Once they started doing video games and shit, getting some like popcorn. I always like the popcorn too, like in the bowls where the popcorn was at the bottom. Like, I thought that was like the fanciest shit ever. And then some Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, the popcorn tasted like the
like movie theater popcorn. Yeah. But dude, kids will never know how exciting those Friday nights were at Blockbuster, bro.
No, and even if it returned, they wouldn't give a shit now because they have everything they need right there on their computer, TV.
They're living in fucking virtual reality, dude, and
they have fucking Fire Sticks. They got Fire Sticks, and mom and dad already paid $10, $20 a month for Netflix and Hulu and all that shit.
So I think that's one good thing that's good about the millennial generation, okay? Because I feel like these older generations, they were their whole life was used to not having an internet based life, and so when it came around, they're like kind of rebellious to it. They don't want to embrace it. They're like, fuck this, dude. Like, this is ruining people, which they have a point, but they're against it. Then you have this newer generation who they've grown up with internet. That's all they know. And then there's us, where we were able to have kind of a life before internet and then see it evolve to what it is, and so we're able to be grateful for those times before it, but we're also grateful for a lot of the stuff that internet can provide us now. For instance, like, we're recording this podcast, on the internet 3,000 miles apart, and we would not be able to do that without internet. There's no fucking way. So I'm just grateful that we are able to, have the best of both worlds, if you will.
The technology is crazy now, because if you think about it, we got the microphones, we got the webcams, we got all of our crazy LED lights that don't put out a lot of heat.
Do you know the most important thing on the internet right now, though?
What?
Is the Bloody Nuts podcast, and also the Bloody Nuts podcast merch that I'm wearing right now. If you're watching the video podcast, Be sure to check it out, y'all. We got some merch. Go to our Instagram. There's a Linktree link in there, and there's a merchandise link as well. So hop in there, check out our merch. We got stickers, we got hats, we got hoodies, we got all kinds of stuff. Check it out. It helps us support the channel and keep making content for y'all. So be sure to check it out and leave a follow for sure.
Please.
I just had, it seemed like the perfect time to do a plug. I had to just go for it, you know?
No, absolutely. And if there's any other merchandise that you guys are interested in, that'd be really cool to get some feedback too. Like, yo, we need some fucking koozies, and we need some.
I have an idea for a T-shirt too, and this is based off of the feedback from the first episode. But I want to get a T-shirt made with a guy pulling out some saran wrap, and it say "Always wear protection."
That actually that sounds pretty fucking rad, actually, dude.
Hey, if y'all would get that shirt, let us know on Instagram. Throw us a DM, bro, because I will absolutely have that made, and I would rock the shit out of that.
Hey, and by next Christmas, we'll have a Christmas tree on a T-shirt with a vibrator underneath it.
Oh my God, Santa is not bringing my child a vibrator. I can guarantee that.
No, but he'll bring you a Bloody Nuts T-shirt with a vibrator underneath.
Hey, that's a good Christmas.
Hell yeah, dude.
Anyway, guys, I think this is a good spot to end the podcast, but I know I said it earlier. Thank y'all so much for all the support and feedback. Mike and I are still figuring out how to, all the twists and turns of actually having a podcast. We're going to be launching some of the videos soon. You're going to start seeing us on TikTok and Instagram and all that. But we're still learning, so bear with us. But we really appreciate everyone who's taking the time to listen to us and share your thoughts with us. So appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.
Hell yeah. But check us out on the next episode of the Bloody Nuts podcast, where we're going to talk about some more fucked up shit. We're going to talk about fucking Mike's mom and showing my dick on camera. Did I say that out loud? Sorry. We'll see you on the next episode, guys. Peace out.
Later. Fuck you, Zach.